lot of you guys were asking about what went down at the camp out for the Air Jordan 1 Royal. Quite a few things went down. The camp out wasn't as pain-free and as seamless as we wish it would have been. I don't know if we'll be camping again for sneakers, but yeah.
It's not Fairview.
Yeah, not a Fairview at least. But yeah, today we're going to be telling you guys a little story time video of what went down at the 20-hour camp out for the Air Jordan 1 Royal. Now, if you guys haven't seen the initial camp out vlog, I'll leave it linked down below. I highly recommend you guys check that out beforehand. But with that said, I'm here joined today by my homie Grant.
What's up?
He was there for the full 20 plus hours or 20 hours for the camping, and then I joined later on. And yeah, so we're just gonna, you know, sit down, discuss with you guys about what happened, and yeah, we'll just chop it up and talk. Grant actually camped out the full time for me while I was away. I was at an Adidas event creating some Ultra Boosts at a Raptors game, so I couldn't camp out earlier. But I did the homie Grant a solid, and if you guys haven't seen the unboxing video yet, I managed to secure him a pair of these right here. You can tell him about it. Tell him
guys.
too. Yeah.
So if you guys saw the video I think we made about a month back or 2 months back that we did top 4 sneaker wish list video, and these were my top 4. These are the foam posit in the Galaxy. So these were, I think, my second most wanted shoe apart from the Slam Dunks. These are absolutely,
these are crazy.
These are
insane.
Yeah, like I even showed these to some of my friends. People that aren't into shoes, they thought these were sick. So like, that's saying something. I thought these were too crazy at first, but when I saw them on my friend's feet, I'm like, dang, this is a clean shoe.
I ended up picking these up for Grant like in advance. So I dropped 2K, which is a crazy amount for sneakers, but I had 2K available that I could buy. When I saw the opportunity come up to buy these, I was like, all right, we gotta get it done. So we got them, and then Grant's gonna pay me back later. But in return, Grant also did me a solid favor by also camping out for the Royal ones. Because I'm not charging him interest, I'm not asking him for any extra money, but he just was a really good homie, and thank you for camping out again, man. I appreciate it. So he camped out for the Royal ones for me. We got 2 pairs, and yeah, so we have some Galaxies, which will be in your collection in a couple of months.
Yep.
But yeah, so with that said, this is sort of the reason why Grant hooked it up with camping out. Alright, so for the Jordan 1 Royal Campout, Grant showed up at like what, 2 p.m.?
2 p.m.
2 p.m. the day before the release, and then I showed up at like 4:30, 4 a.m. and I swapped in with Yesung.
Yep.
Yesung was there earlier with Grant, but he'll get into that later. So Grant was there for like the entire campout, so he's gonna tell you guys a bulk of what happened. So Grant, take it away.
Alright, so my friend and I went to Fairview roughly at around 1. We left around 1 and we arrived there at 2 sharp, and there was this list that people started making in case they actually want a list. So we went to the Foot Locker and asked the employee, can we just make a list, and whether or not, like, after a certain amount, should we just cut it off and then, you know, we can just come the next morning or get some sort of ticket. But the manager just said he didn't care about the list. Whoever's in line at the time they give out the actual ticket to pick up the shoes, then that'll be who it is. Alright, so we're jumping past a bit of time. At 4 p.m. that's where a lot more people started coming, and I guess kind of the line cut started. I was there in line roughly at number 8 and 9, and then when I came back to line roughly around 2 hours later, I was all of a sudden 10th and 11th. So I knew something was up. Turns out, I found this out later in the morning that 2 people did cut me in line. They said they arrived around the 2:33 when I arrived at 2 sharp. So I mean, I was fine with them cutting me in line because we would still get the Royals and in our size too. So it didn't really matter. It's just, I think it was unfair for the people back in line. See, I didn't really care about too much, and there was a problem with those 2 people in line, but I'll get into that later. Roughly around 5 p.m. there was a shipment coming in. Now, I know, Christian, you mentioned there was originally around 40 pairs, or? Yeah,
the employees at the store told me there'd be about 35 to 40 pairs for the public.
So yeah, about 35 to 40. I think that what they meant was what they had there. We actually saw a shipment come in. There was I think it was a FedEx truck or some sort of truck carrying a lot of boxes, white boxes. Didn't know what was inside them. Well, I knew they were the Royals, or I had a sense they were some sort of shoes, because they had the size on them. They only had 8 to 12, and they didn't have like a 12.5 or 13. There was a very high chance it was the Royals because Foot Locker only gave size 8 to 12. There was a long time before anything actually started, so there was like 5 hours apiece until roughly around 9:30 to 8, where I think the 20th person in line, he was wondering why there were 2 seats there. And the people just didn't show up. 2 Asian guys, they just put the chairs there and did not show up back until morning. So he decided to just remove them. Now, the thugs and the wannabe boys, they came back and they saw the 2 chairs just laying there. So what they did was, first of all, they threw my chair when I had nothing to do with it, so I was kind of pissed. They said the 2 Asian guys were here way before you, and then so the Asian guys like saying they're not here right now. So a little fight erupted, a little pushing, a little shoving, a little fist throwing, and you know, we were just trying to like break them up to make sure it wouldn't turn into a raffle. Eventually everything got solved. Alright, so at midnight I think that's where my body hit its limit. I mean, the fatigue started hitting and like my legs were shaking. Not because it was cold, it was mainly from exhaustion. And it was raining that day, the chairs got rained on. I didn't want my pants to get wet, so I just stood for a good 18 hours and I sat for like 2 hours in the mall when we were still allowed. A lot of times we sat inside the mall until the security guard came and then everyone just started rushing out of the mall. And then after Winston Mornings, everyone saw I had a Bape umbrella. I don't know, you guys probably saw in the vlog, but my Bape umbrella, I kind of got like robbed of it in a way. I mean, once again, it's always the thugs in the front line that cause trouble. They robbed me of my umbrella. I didn't know this. One good thing was that a subscriber of Christian's was, well, very loyal, and he told me, oh, they took your umbrella and they put it in their car. So eventually I did get it back, but it was like bent, so I had to kind of like rebend it, and I was really pissed considering that they not only did they take my umbrella, but they damaged it and then returned it to me. So like,
that's f***ed up, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Those were the kind of people that were in line, that were at the front of the line, who were boys and stealing people's shit. And were they there when you were there?
One person was there.
Okay.
And, oh yeah, by the way, Omar was the only guy of the boys that was there, and then he just brought like 8 more black guys. Yes, I'm being racist to you, Omar. And they just cut in line. So originally I was 8th in line. Yeah. And I moved back to like the 18th in line, which I'm like, this is so unfair. And they thought I wouldn't start crap because they're black. I'll tell you, I had a whole posse behind me. All the Christian subscribers. I outnumbered them like 20-1. So like, I just didn't want to start crap because I mean, I know like they would say, oh, this guy started crap, and then like they just make the entire thing a raffle, so I didn't really want to start anything. But I mean, if they wanted to go, I was ready. I had Team SneakerTalk behind me, so gang. But yeah, after that, Christian arrived.
So I arrived at like 4:30 or around 4:30, and when I got there, it was pretty cool. There was like a ton of people who knew me, so when I walked into line, a lot of people were like yelling out SneakerTalk, and they were like saying hi to me, so that was pretty cool. So shout out to everybody who was in line. After about, I think, 10 minutes of lining up, I decided to, you know, whip out my camera, do a little vlog update for the camp out. Now, the second I took out my camera, I started walking for like 3 steps, and then one person from the group of thugs was like, yo, did I give you my consent? Did I give you my consent? And I was like, what the what is he talking about? And then I was like, oh, he means consent. This dumbass means consent. So I was like, bro, I don't need your consent to take out my camera. He's like, bro, I didn't give you my consent. I'm like, I just took my camera out of my bag. I don't need consent to do that. And as I'm explaining to this boy that I don't need his consent to take out my camera, one of his boys comes in and jumps into this argument and was like, yo, listen to my boy, respect my boy. These are the type of people who were not very negotiable. I couldn't have an actual conversation with them because all they did was just yell over you or talk over you in a very aggressive fashion. So it's like, you can't even argue because they won't even let you talk, because they're boys. So after that, I still end up doing a little vlog action. I recorded a little bit, and then I think I ended up getting a couple of the boys into the frame, which was pretty funny. One of them came up, which was weird, into the vlog, and then I ended up just like stopped talking at that point anyway, so it didn't matter. And then after that whole little vlog portion at the front of the line, I go back to my chair area where Grant is with some other subscribers, and as I'm holding the camera, one of the boys comes up to me and is like, yo, I'm gonna make that camera mine. I'm gonna make that camera mine. That's how he was saying it. I'm gonna make that camera mine. He didn't say I'm gonna rob you. He said I'm gonna make that camera mine. So basically this kid was threatening me the entire time, and it was just like this 17-year-old kid who had probably some daddy issues or something, I don't know what, but he was just so angry that I had a camera in my hands, and he felt like he had to threaten me non-stop to steal my camera. Like, this man is not gonna steal my $2,500 setup. That's not happening. I was like, okay. Of course, I was feeling a little bit intimidated because I didn't necessarily have a whole bunch of power in numbers. Like, sure, we had numbers, but they had numbers. Like, they had like 10 to 12 people who could all easily jump me, take my and, you know, beat me up. So I wasn't trying to be a disturber or start anything, so I was being as civil, as polite as I possibly could, which is usually how I always am. So yeah, that's just how that whole situation unfolded. Then while we were in line, There was this one guy named, I'm not even gonna name him, but he was a short little guy. He went on like a small power trip. Like he was organizing the lineup a little bit, which was, I appreciate that. He kept some order to the whole lineup, but he was also part of that crew of boys too. And he was just very, very aggressive and always yelling at people. Like he was like
Hitler.
He was like Hitler. He was like a mini Hitler, and he was just shouting at people. Like if you were not standing in the lineup the right way, he would bitch and moan at you. Like, bro, I'm just standing in line. He's making it like standing in line so difficult. You can't even stand in line without getting yelled at. The whole camp out in general was just very, very hostile. You have these bunch of teenage kids who are probably gonna drop out of school. Like these kind of boys are the kind of people in high school who would skip class, smoke weed, fail classes. Like those are the type of degenerates that were in line. So that hopefully paints a picture of what kind of people were cutting and what kind of people were there. Then there's just like a group of, you know, regular, polite, civil people who were there, like myself, some subscribers, some other people, the people that this group of people paid to camp out behind us. Like there's this one big reseller who basically hired the mini Hitler and hired like a bunch of the thugs to line up, and then he also hired like 20 Filipino people to line up behind us. So he was like a huge reseller. Like he had at least I think 30 pairs plus that he was gonna resell. So it was very, very organized.
He actually ordered like 60 people because they had shifts. One was AM shift, one was PM shift.
Damn. So yeah, this guy was a very organized reseller, so he knew exactly what he was doing. Basically, that's how the camp out went for the rest of the night. It was very hostile, but I still enjoyed the moments where we were just kicking it, talking with people about sneakers and talking about YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So for that, it was really fun. It was a nice experience. Once the Foot Locker employees came at around 6:20, 6:30 a.m., they started handing out the tickets. And these tickets were basically your ticket to buy the sneaker guaranteed. They have your size and everything. And so we were expecting, you know, 30 to 40 pairs. Nope. There was like a giant stack, like at least of 100 tickets. We were like, F man, that's a lot of pairs. That's
20 hours wasted, guys.
Yeah, 20.
That's how you do it.
Damn, bro. But yeah, so that's why I know some people will call this a GR, which I totally understand if you would call it a GR. After we got the tickets, we went inside of the mall and we all lined up like single file and waited about an hour and a half until 8 a.m. which was the official time they could start selling us the sneakers. So we were in the mall for another hour and a half, and yeah, we just bought the sneakers and then we cut, and that was quite an experience, man.
Yep, definitely. Definitely a first timer for a full camp out, I guess. That
was my like first proper time trying to camp out for sneakers, and I wasn't even there for like the full overnight kind of thing. I was there at like 4:30 in the morning, so I was only there for about 4.5 hours, 4 hours.
A lot of people actually weren't there. Like, there was, okay, so realistically there was like 20 people in line that did the full camp out and stayed there. There was over 100 chairs, and so basically there was 80 chairs just empty for a good 12 hours.
Ghost chairs.
Empty chairs.
So there you guys have it. That is our Air Jordan 1 Royal Camp Out Storytime experience kind of video. If you guys enjoyed it, please smash that thumbs up button down below. And also, let me know in the comments if you guys ended up copying the Royal ones as well. Did you take a W? Did you take an L? What did you take? Or did you just pass on them completely? But as you guys can see, we got 2 pairs. Not sure what we're gonna do with the second pair. We might try and trade them. I'm trying to trade them for Chicago ones. If anyone wants to trade for Chicago ones, hit me up. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Grant, for helping me with this camp out experience, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.